Hello everybody, welcome back. Training every single day. I started off working with the Stalder press again. Now one of my goal movements, in the short term at least, is to get the Stalder press very clean for reps where I can go from a Stalder press to a handstand and hold it. Right now I'm not able to get into the handstand and hold it for some reason. My arms aren't straight, the balance is very difficult because it's very tiring to do. But I'm still working with it. My handstand balance is getting better with the Stalder press. I can get up, no problem, I'm strong enough, but the balance is not quite there just yet. So I'm gonna spend a little more time trying to keep my arms straighter. Right now they bend a little bit, but later in the day I ended up getting them straight, and I had a better balance because of it. If you're trying to learn the handstand, there's a lot of approaches to doing it. And there's a lot of different goals when it comes to the handstand. So there's a lot of different ways to approach it. So understand your goals, and there are different ways. You can be more of a dynamic handstand, a pretty straight handstand. But whatever it is, you need to spend a lot of time developing control for the specific kind of handstand that you want. Now I'm doing a little bit more time with the one-arm pull-ups, working a little bit of negatives on the halfway hold. This is kind of the easier half of the one-arm pull-up. The top half is much more difficult and a little bit more dangerous. So I'm spending a lot of time with these holds. They're quite fun to do. I wasn't really able to hold it that long today, but it gets better and better each time we do it. I also dropped a new tutorial, so check it out. It's how to start training for beginner. If you want to start doing some training like this, or some general base to do any kind of athletic endeavor, check out that video. Anyways, leave a like, comment, subscribe. That's the best way to support the channel. And then I get into this mobility section against the wall. I've been seeing some improvements with the squat, doing it against the wall to open up the spine and challenge the legs a little bit. Getting the legs closer together makes it more difficult, and getting closer to the wall makes it more difficult. You want to always squat this kind of squat, this movement here, with your heels on the ground. You should have developed first heels on the ground squat, and then try to work on the toes raised squat, because the heels on the ground is a resting squat, which is a very natural movement that everyone should have. And if you don't have it and you're still like trying to develop an on the toe squat, you're kind of putting the cart before the horse. Anyways, get into some juggling, work some throws and catching to challenge your brain, your memory, your hand-eye coordination. That's very good. And then get into, this is a nice entry for the diagonal stretch to use a wall. I like it. A little bit better than doing it freestanding. You can do this kind of stretch without the wall. Just this one right here with this little bit of a lunge, and you touch your back leg. Normally I'd keep the front leg straight, but when I use the wall, I can challenge my shoulder mobility a lot more, and I'm not able to really progress it with the straight leg one. This bent leg variation is still very good for me to do. And then these shoulder circles are a really good way to build up some of the shoulder mobility as well. Try them out. And then don't forget to do your spinal movements, build up your squat, do your hanging. Those are some of the basics of everything. One of the things that I've been kind of neglecting is my breathwork practice. I haven't done a lot of deliberate breathing or breathing work in some amount of time, and it kind of hit me a little bit as my breathing was kind of off. It was quite poor through some of these movements, and throughout some of my day, I was breathing quite shallow, not getting enough oxygen. So it's important that you take some time to train your breathing. Most people don't even think about it at all, which is a little bit unfortunate. It's another part of your body that can be trained, can get better, can get worse, and that you should be aware of. You want to breathe deeply through the nose. You can breathe quickly, you can breathe slowly, you can breathe and hold, you can breathe to structure your body, and you can breathe to oxygenate your body. All these things are different functions of the breath that you can do. And when you breathe out, you get smaller. When you breathe out, you calm down. So think about after you had a hard day of work, you let out a sigh of relief, and that sigh physiologically calms you down. Now, when you breathe in, when you do an inhale, you get bigger. Literally, you get bigger. I'm not sure. I think you both get Okay, I'll get in the breathing out part a little bit later. But when you breathe in, you get more oxygen, you start to upregulate, you get more alert. Like if you see something quite disturbing or quite scary, you'll take a gasp, like, oh, what was that? Now, you also, when you breathe, the exhale also contracts. So you get bigger, and when you get out, so like if you're doing a roll and you're going to land on the ground, you want to breathe out during the roll to kind of add some cushion to your landing. And when you breathe in, you get bigger. But when you get filled up, you can use that to brace yourself for some kind of movement, like a heavy squat. You want that air inside of you to add some structure to your body, which is very nice. So breathing is very important. It can oxygenate you. It can keep you from getting lightheaded. It can keep you from having some health issues or lightheaded. Like people can get lightheaded, they can get dizzy, they can pass out. Some of those things can all be avoided with some proper breathing and developing your breathing practice. So whatever you think about, whatever you do, your body adapts to it. Your body, mind, and soul develops what you think about and what you do, what you practice. You develop these attributes that you work towards, and you lose the ones that you don't. So if you never think about your breathing mechanics will deteriorate. If you never articulate a certain joint, like if you never deep squat, if you never challenge any sort of your body, like your vision, long-term vision, if you stay inside all day and never look at far distances, your long vision deteriorates. If you never practice some sort of emotionally, like if you never practice like being happy or figuring out ways to be happy or do whatever you want or to connect with people, it goes beyond training. So you can train yourself. You already train yourself every single day with whatever you do. So be deliberate about it. Understand that if you have a negative pattern, like, oh, I get upset and then I complain and then I think bad thoughts and then I say bad things, those things develop. And if you identify them and change them to better patterns, better habits, they will compound and in the long run do a lot of good for you. So just be aware of what you're training your body for right now. Whatever you do, your body adapts to it. If you sit at a computer, your body adapts to use the computer. And when you use a computer, you're often trying to do something cognitively. You're not trying to develop a bodily posture to use that computer technology, but it ends up happening because you're so focused on whatever the task is, you're not focused on the body that is developing some of these cognitive tasks. So anyways, thanks for watching. This is getting near the end of the video. Some more stretching, doing some squats, doing some splits. All of these movements are very great. I recommend you try using the wall, get down to the ground, do some more crawling, spinal movements. All these things are really great.